day 3 and we are now in Munigo, so it's like another part of the tour. And you see there are snows here, there are ice, so which means it snowed here for a few days ago, and there is an oxygen bar, which means actually we are quite high, not exactly very high, but it's near to 3000 meters sea level, so some may feel oxygen is being compromised lah. Just for context, Malaysia's Genting is like around 1000 plus, and here is around 3000, so it's like three times more. And tomorrow we'll be going to a place where it's colder, it's around 4005. So today is mostly just very chill and mainly leisure and traveling over to the place called Dagu Bingchuan. It's a ice mountain, I guess. And today is more on scenery viewing. This is Kaodang. So let's go. I've always wanted to drink sansui, mountain water, and there is one like originally, from the mountain one. And it tastes really good. It's very nice. So don't worry guys, everything is fine. So we have now arrived at the destination. I think like China, right, if you guys are on a budget but wants to enjoy natures like this, and which is very clean, very well conserved, reserved and everything, right? Toilets are clean in their their national park and their tourist locations. Just come to China, don't worry, you will see magnificent sceneries, natural resources over here in a sense. We can actually drink the water like as I showed earlier, and I really like it, so which means that it's really very clean. It's just that the travelling time, it will be very far, in the sense that we have to take buses, and we are actually by a tour, so it should be easier, but it's still very tiring in a sense. Every place that you travel, every tourist locations, right, it will be 2 hours bus ride, but it's worth it definitely. So we'll be leaving here soon, and we'll be going to a very cold place lah. So let's go. Excited. I like to see snow. Morning guys. So now we are in Dagu Bingchuan, the bottom of the mountain. And the reason why we are here is because we want to see Cailing. Not too sure if the camera shows. Probably it does, because Cailing means actually 彩色森林, meaning to say it's like colorful woods, colorful forests, because you have multiple trees that are that during fall time they become different colors. Some is in yellow, some is in red, some is in green, still in green, some is in orange, etc. So this area itself, it's a bit more rural in a sense, and I suppose the China's government is actually encouraging tours to come over to package it with Jiuzhaigou, because it's maybe quite underrated in a sense. But surrounding here, it's less commercialized lah compared to Jiuzhaigou. So today we're heading up to the top of the mountain, and now it's -1, so let's go. And sometimes we have to understand that in China, not all hotels are very modern, because their civilization, right, is much older in a sense. So you can see at the architectural designs, the hotel infrastructure, everything looks a bit old, but rest assured, it's actually still quite quality lah. But of course inside there are still the old rules and regulations that you have to follow, as in you cannot throw toilet paper into the toilet bowl, and like for example there you don't need a card to access into it. There is no master light controller in a sense. So yeah, these are some of the things, and the food is actually very redundant. There is no Western food or whatsoever, so it's mainly only Chinese food. Hey guys, now we are at the destination, the lower level, I mean the starting point of the mountain. And the tour guide actually gave us this. This is actually and oxygen tank, just in case, because the sea level will be as high as 4005 to 4008, so it will be extremely high. And then we will be taking a cable car. It's very vertical in a sense, like it's straight away one straight high, one straight line up, from 3005 to 4008 in terms of the cable car distance. So some may experience, you know, nausea, lack of breath, like what I'm doing now, what I'm experiencing now, because it's very high and you keep walking and it's very heavy. So things like this will happen. So just in case, you bring this, it's a must. And I'm very excited. Just you can't see. Let's go. 打鼓冰川入口. The tourist here is actually much lesser. I like. According to the tour guide, it's not because it's underrated lah. It's because it's off the way. So you can have your own theory, I guess. But yeah, I think it should be very enjoyable because there's less tourists. Okay, so now we have reached like the third quarter of the mountain, and it's full of snow. Nice, I like. Let's see. Yes. I'm not too sure what is degrees now because it's very difficult for me to take my phone out. And nice, less tourists, only our tour. So we'll be taking the cable car up now. And one more thing is, the people here speak different kind of Chinese because it's like Beifang. Their own language is like different. It's like our orang asli in a sense, but most of them or some of them they still understand normal 普通话. So let's enjoy the scene. Nice. Okay guys, so now we have arrived at one of the district called Mao Xian, and I get to show you guys the town of their mountain valley areas lah, because it's very windy, so you can see the view is very nice. And I've been emphasizing this from day one, right? There are lakes and everything, it's really blue in color, bluish green, and it's really well conserved lah. And most of their buildings here, it's a very old town, so don't expect any fancy thing. It's mainly just very cultural place. And in order for you to travel from one destination to another destination, right, you need to drive at least 3 to 4 hours per day. So hotels like this make sense because you will be stopping by, because their sky gets dark quite early as well. So earlier this morning we went to the glacier, Dagu Glacier, and then I see the wind is very strong, really very strong. And now we are in Mao Xian. Tomorrow we'll be going to another few mountains, I guess. And one thing I noticed, right, with mountain roads, is really never easy to drive or to build because mountains are very hard, solid, natural made by God. So it's very hard to just destroy it and to even do a town planning or whatsoever. So yeah, so the roads are always very windy and you always sleep in the bus lah. So see you guys tomorrow and hope for more nice scenery. Let's go. Hey guys, so today after a few days of being in the kampong, in the mountain area, we're now back to the middle part of the city. This is called Dujiangyan, and it's popular because there's a giant panda statue. So, some thoughts, which is after traveling back from those mountain areas, right? We can understand that there are most of this valley, hilly road area is being affected by the earthquake in 2008, right? And the government has actually rebuilt all those areas. So initially it was maybe like 4 to 5 stories high, the building, and it's built by whatever they can find in that area, like those soil, stones and whatsoever. But then the government actually helped them. That's why the people there actually love the government a lot. So that's one thing that is being told by the tour guide lah. And then coming over here to Dujiangyan, it's mostly city, but initially it was actually a gucheng as well. So it's like their old, very historical town as well, in a sense. So I like it how fast they actually revamp the whole town city area from a very old city becoming to a mixture of old and new technologies, buildings and everything. So nice. So I guess this is actually the power of China. Within few years time, they actually managed to change the whole city from being a gucheng of Dujiangyan becoming to a very advanced, where they implement train stations, they preserve the old city, the old buildings and cultural things, yet at the same time having some 广场 over here, some tourist spots. So nice. Okay guys, as you can see, this is the gucheng from opposite, and actually they are doing commercial stores, I guess. There are a lot of restaurants over there that oversees the river. So this is the view of the river. Not as nice as the one, near the mountain, but it's nice enough to make it as a selling point for your restaurants. And this is actually what they call their 蓝眼泪. And all of the shops over here, right, at this row here, it's actually drinking stalls or restaurants where you can enjoy the river, the breeze, at the same time enjoy their alcohol. Nice. And this Tianfu Yuan has been here for I think few hundred years. Wow, it's really very nice here. Woo! But here, not so much. This is from the mountain. Nice. Okay guys, so this area here, let me show you guys. I cannot point because my hands is full actually. So this area here is actually, just now the scene that I snapped. It's the gucheng, but what they do is they actually revamped it into like a shopping area, which is very common in a lot of places, like even in Petaling Street as well. It's very old, but then it become a very tourist location. So for China, their civilization is actually much older in a sense. So you have all of these very ancient style of buildings, and they demolished it because it was their government's idea to revamp, to renew everything. And after the government has realized that, hey, I'm being too fast paced, too modern, I want to reserve or preserve back. I want my citizens to actually understand that we do have cultures here, so they rebuild it back. So these are not the original parts. Not all of them are original parts. 95% of them are actually new, but it still remains the same style of building lah. So no worries about it. And of course, it's more structured. It can prevent earthquake, which is up to 8.0 level. So nice. And now it's only now it's 10 a.m. in the morning. A lot of shops are not fully open yet, so we'll see how it goes about this area. And mostly are very modern things. Hey guys, after a long week in the village, we have now arrived in Chunxilu and Chengdu. So just now that we passed by, right, we actually passed by some of their landed houses, which is actually their 6th-tier city or town in Chengdu. So they have multiple tiers: tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 to tier 6. So tier 6, then you can see landed houses. But then in tier 1, which is this, you can see a very old civilization and old buildings, but a lot of branded stuff all across here. And according to the tour guide, if you were to shop here, right, it takes 3 full days to finish shopping here. So this is their main road, Taiguli, and Chunxilu will be over here. So first things first, we can see the crowd. It's Saturday, it's no joke. The crowd here is very packed, very bustling, and yeah, I don't know what to expect actually. So we'll see how it goes. Let's go. First things first, we have reached Jiulong, which is their Pifa, their supplier place for a lot of clothes and a lot of shoes, literally everything lah. It's basically like what we seen in Guangzhou last year. So these are some of the things. You can have a look. Whatever you can think of in terms of clothing, everything will be available here. Okay guys, this is actually like, the supplier kind and some of those pirated stuff, right? So when it comes to level 1, mainly women's stuff, it becomes very packed. It's a bit overwhelming, to be honest, because I don't even know which shop should I go in. Everyone is saying that their price is very cheap and their qualities are good. This shop seems good. Okay, so I've concluded it's something like Bangkok's Platinum Mall, something like all from factory out. The quality are actually very good, and nice. Men's section is always less people, very nice. You don't have to squeeze, and all the window clothing are very cheap. For the price that you get in Malaysia, right? It's very cheap. Nice. I believe this area will be the more atas area lah. Looking at this billboard, seeing probably more expensive shops, expensive brands over here, Tom Ford and etc. I guess this will be their atas area. So we'll tour around here first, and okay guys, so now we are going to Taikuli. It's basically like the same street lah, right? And this is a signature where you have a panda because it's Sichuan, right? Sichuan is panda city. Chengdu is also panda city. So IFS is actually a international financial hub, and it's packed with people. And mostly they are branded stuff, Prada, Fendi. So you want to shop rich, you can just come over here. Other than packed, it's still packed. Okay guys, so apparently there are a lot of local tourism. Like just now I went to ask the direction, and a lot of them say they are actually not from here, so they don't even know. Like Chinese don't even know. What about me? But anyway, it's quite easy to navigate. Just have to download some of their apps lah. Or if you were to use Google, it wouldn't be like exactly accurate, but it's good enough. You know, you can maneuver lah. I mean, you can find your way definitely, because it's not like 100% Chinese. There are a lot of English words over here, so no worries. The panda. And so far I think it's more convenient to live in city, mainly because of the toilet. It's easier to find, to navigate, and the food choices here are, you know, typical lah. It's in city, so it's quite easy to find. There's a toy. Alright, it's quite easy to find, and so basically here will be more shopping, and you know, you can see the town planning over here, the building planning over here has changed from earlier at Kowloon. It will be slightly older because of the civilization has been there for some time, but over here they have definitely rebuilt it into literally like shopping heaven lah, for a lot of people. And there are a lot of people. I can't stop emphasizing it. Well, one thing about China is actually they are quite good at preserving, even though they are still a communist country technically, but they focus a lot on tourism, because I guess for the past 20 years, right, they weren't really that friendly in terms of allowing tourists over. But recent years they are actually trying to, you know, politically, I don't know, maybe trying to climb up as being one of the top country in the world. So they need to have branding. They need to have exposure in the worldwide. Hence, we are, you know, seeing a lot of people actually traveling to China, especially for Malaysians, right? During the airport time, right, we can see a lot of people just trying to travel to China because it's visa-free now. Nice. Okay guys, we are now in Taikuli. Again, a lot of branded stuff, but this time here, the things are the building is very nice. It's using those olden days 古城 kind of style, alright? And they're selling branded stuff as well lah. So that's quite normal in China. Crossing the road. Let's have a look over here. Okay guys, so I'm back to Malaysia already, finally. Okay, and on the last day itself, we managed to catch a glimpse, I would say a day lah, of how their first tier, their first ring, right? Because in KL, it's a bit different where you have like groups of different locations that are high end. Like for example, in Malaysia, right, it's KLCC, then you have Mont Kiara, then you have Bangsa, you have Damansara. There are a lot of different areas that is very posh. But for Chengdu itself, right, it's like just imagine like it's a dart where you throw darts, right? The aim, right? The more center it is, the pricier the property gets. Okay, and they differentiate it by rings. Like this is the first tier, the second tier, the third tier, the fourth tier, the fifth tier, the sixth tier. I'm not too sure how many tiers are there in Chengdu city, but as far as I know, the sixth tier itself, I can see landed properties in China, and it's not those kampong one. It's actually those normal concrete double story semi-D kind of style. So from what I know, the city center itself, it would be definitely very expensive, but it's almost similar with Taiwan where the buildings are actually quite old. In a sense, it's very old buildings, those that are, built in maybe in the 60s or 70s, that kind of feeling. And this actually shows that China's civilization is actually really very old. So we can't really compare with Malaysia's civilization lah, in terms of their high end or their expensive area. And this trip to Chengdu is not really a good illustration of how Chengdu's real estate or how Chengdu is as a country, as a state, as a place lah. Because most of the locations that I went is actually more kampong, and when it comes to their kampong or their villages, the discrepancy is really quite big compared to those who are living in the city. So this is something that is very different lah. And I think, first of all, do I like it? I can't say I 100% like it, because it's very bustling and it's very noisy as well, the road condition. But I love how seamless they are in terms of paying things. You don't have, it's almost like Visa, but they can use Visa as well. They can use 支付宝, you can use Touch and Go. So in terms of this, is quite good. But there are a lot of people lah in China, especially when a lot of Malaysians as well. So because it's visa free ma. And I think that's all for this walk series. In a sense, it's mostly me sitting on a bus, so I try my best to walk a lot. With that, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you do like this series or do like this video, do like, share, and subscribe. And do let me know if there's anything you want to discuss. Do let me know in the comment section below. And I'll see you next video. Bye bye.